You're starting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to the Kitchen Conversation Q&A for what month are we in? November.
November.
So my name's Tracey.
I'm Bryonie.
And today we're going to talk about all the little tips and hints and hacks that Bryonie and I do to making dinner really the easiest meal, or the easiest possible, quickest possible meal that we can.
So you don't get in that trap of thinking, oh my God, let's just get takeaway or a ready-made meal from the supermarket. But I don't think we even think of it as tips or hacks. It's just being organised for the week in the kitchen.
That's right. Well, when you're cooking all the time,
when food is your life, we cook day in, day out.
Yeah.
I
love it. I love going home and
you
cooking.
learn to be a bit more prepared.
Yes.
And
just all the time.
I know, like being a single mum, I have to walk in the door sometimes, like karate night. We get home at 5:45, and I want my son to have dinner by 6 o'clock, or the night's just gone out the window. It's all too late. So dinner on a Tuesday, being karate night, is already prepared.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I need to think about that.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, exactly. Before. You do need a plan of action.
I know I'm a little bit extra organised.
So just before we get into everything that we want to tell you, we'd like to...
So
yes,
cheers.
She's having a glass of wine. It
the
looks
cameraman's
like
joining me.
It's looked like I'm having a huge vodka, but it's actually water. Well, that's what I'm telling everyone.
Hello from Mel.
Hello, Mel. Nice to have you with us. So thank you to everyone for watching as well. It's really great to be with you on this Thursday evening. So this is a special broadcast, special broadcast of the kitchen conversations that we do on a monthly basis for the Cooks Collective. So we wanted it to go out to everybody who's interested in perhaps learning what we do as chefs, that sort of don't mean to sound trite, but it's just second nature, isn't it?
That's right.
Just
because we're trained to do prep.
That's
Maison
right.
Plus. That's what we do.
Now talking about prep. I know that Bry's got James, who is nearly 8. And my 2 children, who are Anthony, the cameraman's 2 children as well, because he's listening.
I thought you were going to say he's one of the children.
No, that's another subject altogether. But my 2 are 20 and 23, so I've sort of gone past the bit that Bry is in at the moment, which is fab, because, and I can speak from, having older children, you can speak from having a littly and
young one, and being the only adult in the house. 2 dogs, a boy,
so very different situations. So look, we'd love you to ask questions as we go along. We're going to sort of bring you into the conversation as we go. If you've got any questions or any tips or hints that
we want to
you
hear yours as well, but we've got a special prize for those that contribute this evening to the conversation, and that is...
Yes, so if you'd like to ask a question or pop in a comment in the comment box below, then you could be in the draw to win a year's subscription to the Cooks Collective.
So
it's worth $98, so it's pretty good, and there's so much on there. We're not going to talk too much about that. You can always go and look at that online if you want to discover more. But tonight we're talking about preparation and how to make sure that you have enough preparation, or you're organised enough to have a good fresh meal when you get home, not spend an hour and a half in the kitchen trying to get it organised.
And setting yourself up for success for the week.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I think is the main thing. I have Sunday, Mondays off, and so they're my days to get organised. Sunday and Monday.
It's actually quite good, because Sunday you've probably... James is around, but then Monday,
Sunday's more play and hang out and be mum, but until dinner time, and then I cook. And Monday is cleaning, shopping, washing, getting everything sorted for the week ahead, so that I can spend time with my son and work and walk the dogs and not be in the kitchen the whole time. Although I do enjoy being in the kitchen.
Yeah, we do, don't we? It's part of us. Do you prep your meals like on one day of the week for the rest of the week?
what I do is Sunday I cook because I work nights.
As in prep, not as in prep. We'll talk about that in a second. But actually write a list of what you want to cook. Yeah. See, it's interesting because you're organised. I'm probably more spontaneous. But how
I have a bit of an idea according to what I've shopped, which is very standard for me because it's just my son and myself. So, and he's a very plain eater, but I have an idea in my head, I guess, that I'm going to do a pasta and I'm going to do something with this and that. So I've got an idea, but basically Sunday and Monday I cook big meals so that, because I have to work evenings, somebody makes me work nights, I need to bring my... Yeah, it's a passion. But I need to eat before the class because you can't eat when you get home.
No, that's
I learned that the hard way. So I need to take food in. So I'll have Sunday, Monday's dinner is Wednesday, Thursday. Or it's lunches because I'm not a big sandwich person.
I love sandwiches.
Or I freeze that for the next week.
So freezing is all part of it, really, isn't it?
Yes.
Instead of wasting food and throwing it away, freezing is a very important part. But there are some things that don't freeze quite as well. As
so
other
sort
things.
of wet vegetables.
Yes.
What it was.
Cucumbers. Rubbish. Don't never
freeze. Don't freeze your salad.
Your cucumber.
Don't freeze salads. But great example because it's obviously getting dark out and I'll be getting home after 7. I was like, oh God, what am I going to have for dinner? And the other week, about 2 weeks ago, I did a massive bolognese and put half in the freezer. So when you're cooking one dish, especially wet dishes, so casserole type things, I'll cook
it's
double.
It's easy to cook double, isn't it?
That's right, before adding the vegetables. You can put hard vegetables in at the beginning, like the onions, carrots,
root
celery.
Vegetables, yeah.
That's right.
Anything that grows down.
Right, but I'm not big on frozen potato.
Potato is not good frozen, is it? No, so you could have a shepherd's pie.
Without the...
Yeah, I'd take the potato off.
That's right.
You know, I'd make double the shepherd's pie, but I wouldn't put the potato bit on and freeze it underneath. And then you've just got to make mashed potato.
That's right, absolutely. Easy peasy. And with that, making mashed potato, I would have done, if I knew I was doing that Tuesday night, I would have steamed potatoes whole the day before. So all I had to do was sort of heat them through and mash it or something like that. Because
that's a good one.
Yeah. So I do that.
Also, you could make, you could steam the potatoes and you can make roasted potatoes. You can chuck them in the oven and have sort of smashed potatoes on really nice high heat with a bit of olive oil, salt and pepper on it. And you can then pop that in the oven on a really nice high heat and make that really nice and crispy. Because I guess if you steam your potatoes first, you want to eat them steamed or you want to mash them, then the next day... potatoes that are too left over, a bit like freezing, start to get a bit fridgy flavoured and all of that. But if you put them in the oven really hot and get them lovely golden crispy, perfectly
that's generally
right.
Like on a Friday when I get home late, my mum's got my son, it's like sausages and I've steamed the potatoes whole the day before, so all I have to do is chop them and throw them in the oven to get crisp.
So I sometimes, if I'm in the mood, I will do a bit of prep on Sunday. There's been all this thing about pre-prepping for the week's meal. I've read it in lots and lots of different places, and Hayley, who's 20, she goes to her boyfriend's house and they prep for the whole week. And I said to her, don't you get bored of you prep one dish and then you eat it day in, day out? She's like, no, it's fine. And I actually asked her this morning because I knew we were doing this tonight, and I said to her, how's your meal prepping going with Henny? You know, how's that? And she's like, no, we don't do that anymore. So I think meal prepping where you cook a whole batch of lentils or you cook a whole batch of quinoa or something to have in meals during the week. I know Emma does it, who's 23, but she'll have the quinoa as her base and she'll put different things into it because she takes lunch every day to work. But I think variety is the spice of life, and I think that's the hard thing as well, isn't it? Because you go, I like bolognese and I like chicken cacciatore,
but I don't like it 5 nights in a row.
Well, that's right, and it starts to get boring after a while.
No, I cannot eat another bowl of bolognese because I had it lunch, dinner. Yep. By the way, we've got, was it Jill Johnston and Deb McCulloch.
Oh, hello, Deb. Lovely. Welcome.
Yeah, so...
Deb's an organised cook. I know that for a fact. Aren't you, Deb?
So, freezing curries are great before the veggies go in. Like if you've done our Thai class, the Thai green curry.
Yeah.
Veggies
is a good idea to put in afterwards, because you can steam them or blanch them and pop them in, and it'll taste...
as it's reheating, I'll throw in whatever vegetables into it. I know we have Tracey likes to steam them and add them, whereas I'll just throw them all in to the sauce.
Neither way is right or wrong. It's just a different way of
also, when you're saying about the bases, rice freezes quite easily.
Yes, very easily.
And the varieties for lunches, what you can have, if you have to have, take your lunch every day. Well, everybody has to eat every day, but you can have the base, like you're saying, that Emma does. But you throw in, like... So you're saying food prep on a Sunday. I'd do Sunday because Monday's shopping day. Sunday I'd roast every veg I had left in the house.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then it'll go into either, I've got my list of things, frittata or a quiche, or added to salad. So you could make a bit of variety into this one, and this one, but not these two. I boil eggs.
That's a good idea. So don't toss all the veggies through together. Keep them separately. So you've got roasted vegetables, but you could have roasted beetroot with your lentils and feta and roasted tomatoes. But then you've got your pumpkin to put in perhaps a frittata or something like that. So you don't go... And then I've had roasted
let's say
beetroot for
I've
5
roasted
days.
all the veggies,
Yeah.
and we're having roast chicken with that. I'll do 2 chickens. So then I can shred leftover meat to go in sandwiches, wraps, salads, fried rice for dinner. So and it freezes. Once you've cooked it, you can freeze it again. So you could have a bag of shredded chicken. So that's ready to go in the fried rice of the frozen rice.
Yeah,
that you've got.
You've got to be careful with something like that, freezing it in a snap-lock bag and perhaps putting some foil around it, taking all the air out. Because to cook chicken, just for freezing tips, cooked chicken can get freezer burn. And freezer burn, basically, for those of you wondering what it is, it's when everything, it just loses all its moisture and it gets very, very dry and stringy. So fish often gets freezer burn. So you can't freeze a lot of things for a long period of time, because you'll get them out and just throw them out.
I'm only talking about, like, say, for next week, something quick meal. So there's a specific night, like I said, karate night, where you need to have everything done a lot quicker than other nights.
See, I would do, if I was playing around on Sunday in the kitchen, which I often do because I make sourdough bread every week, so that's just something that I just do it all the time because I really like making bread and it's good fun, but also for us all to eat. And I would say do something, I've just written some notes, some roasted tomatoes, say, because I love roasted tomatoes, and sort of long and slow, you get amazing flavour from them. I'd also make our 2-minute mayonnaise that we do with the whole egg mayonnaise, which is on a recipe on the Cooks Collective. That one's a really good one. So you've got mayonnaise in the fridge, and you're making it with olive oil and fresh eggs, so it's not like, I don't feel guilty eating that mayonnaise. It's just really, really good. And doing a few bits and pieces like that. So I've got something of interest in the fridge for people who stand with the door open, gazing into the fridge as if to say, jump out at me, eat, eat me. But I'll have things, I will always buy certain vegetables, but I always try and like to try something new as well, because I'm always experimenting with food, obviously, so I can bring some new recipes and ideas and everything here. But I love variety, and I don't like the same thing all the time. So I will buy certain things that I keep in the fridge that I know I can pop together. I mean, in the summer, a roasted chicken with what we used to call like a farmer's market salad. It's a bit the same as you do with your roasted vegetables at the end of the week. You can get any of your veggies that are good in a salad, and you can have like a farmer's market salad with some thinned out mayonnaise drizzled on the top, and often I'll just toast some nuts to go on the top of that, and you've got your roast chicken that you've done beforehand, and if you've got some olives or sun-dried tomatoes or whatever in the fridge, you can pop those in as well. So it's thinking about fresh versus You know, I keep all my nuts in the freezer, like you probably do as well. And basically in the freezer, what I've got is peas. Where's that peas in the freezer? Peas are great.
I opened the freezer the other night and I finished the peas. I was like,
oh my gosh, what do I do with the peas?
No peas.
And I will freeze my meat as well. So I'll always bring home meat and freeze it, because I could change my mind. Right, I could get home in the evening and go, actually, I don't fancy what I thought that I would want to eat. I mean, we change our mind, don't we? Because I'm a woman. And so then I've got enough stuff there to turn it around and make it into something else. I don't have to stick to what I thought I was going to cook, because I'll come up with some idea during the day or be reading something or something. So as long as you've got things like spices in the pantry. Exactly.
Jan's tuned in to us. Hi, Jan. In Albany.
Oh, in Albany. Hello, Jan. Nice to have you with us. You know, I don't know what people think out there as well. Like, would you shop on a daily basis, so that everything's nice and fresh and you buy, you know, the exact amount that you need to buy that day? Or would you shop once during the week?
Do that one big shop. I go to the supermarket once a fortnight, and I go to the veg market, a meat and veg, once a week on a Monday. So that's what I do. A couple of other things I wanted to say about preparing if you do a Sunday prep was the plain tomato sauce,
perfect,
is great to have in the freezer, because I sometimes make pizzas. I make homemade pizzas. That would be a Sunday thing. Where the other week the neighbour came round and thought I was crazy because I had 8 pizzas, and he thought, and there's 2 of us. He's like, who are you feeding? But the next 2 weeks, Sunday night was pizza night, and I didn't have to make them. I just took them out of the freezer, and they were topped and cooked. So it's like, you know, what was it? Giuseppe McCain's frozen. You know, I should have put it in a box and pretended I was
McCarters.
McCarters, or Domino's or something like that. You know, but better because I made it. And it had specifically what I wanted on mine and specifically what James wanted on his. So I always doubled the pizzas. It is a little bit of effort whilst you're doing it, but so that's why, like, I'll make a big tomato sauce.
Making pizzas. Yes. Anyone else in the house will help you.
James loves sprinkling the cheese and then eating the cheese and then eating all the bits before he puts it on the pizza.
But it's fun to cook, and that's brilliant. What a brilliant mum, you know, to allow James to come into the kitchen and help you do that and have some fun together. I mean, eating cheese isn't, you know, that's fine. That's fine.
I ate the raw bacon.
Okay. One of my go-to ones is pasta with, we call it penne alla vodka. I think it's quite a well-known thing. But there again, that's Hayley, my daughter, because she's doing nutrition at uni, and of course they love putting vodka in anything, don't they? At that age. So she's sort of taught me this penne alla vodka. I don't know what it is. The vodka actually makes quite a difference in there. So I will make our basic tomato sauce recipe also on the Cooks Collective, showing you exactly how to do it as well with a video. On our pasta, pizza, gnocchi class on the Cooks Collective, and that's one of my basic easy peasy ones, because making a tomato sauce is really quite quick, and I'll fry off some bacon, add that to it as well, and I'll put through some spinach or some mushrooms or something, and then all of a sudden, and a little bit of cream at the end. And Hayley splashes in the vodka as well. Cook your penne pasta while the sauce is cooking. You know, 15 minutes later on, you've got a beautiful fresh tomato sauce over some lovely pasta with, you know, your vodka in it as well. You've got everything there, haven't you?
That's right.
You've got everything there. It's easy.
So, yeah, if you've got anything to add with regards to what you do at home, freezing, pre-preparing, we've got Merle. What was... She buys and preps on a Sunday and buys veg and fish daily.
Oh, great idea, Mel. Yeah, absolutely. Buy all your pantry stuff and just buy fresh as you need it.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, so, I like that.
Absolutely.
I've been trying to boycott the supermarket, so I've been buying who gives a crap toilet paper. Too much information, oversharing there. But who gives a crap toilet paper, and I get my tissues and my kitchen paper from there as well. Right. So I'm trying to... We went on a food tour with lovely lady Kate, who said that she's making her own shampoo. And I'm like, oh, really? Because that's a bit like cooking, isn't it?
Yeah. Or I've tried in the Thermomix thing making like washing powder and stuff. But I don't have the time for that anymore.
And don't start eating the washing powder.
I wasn't working and stuff, so I was at home.
Well,
mum.
talking about quick things. I mean, I really like that idea of meals, but. If things get a bit too hard and I just go, I just don't want to make dinner, which probably happens about twice a year, then I'll go, let's have some sausages, because they'll always be in the freezer, nice quality sausages. If I can make a whole big batch, then because sausages are not that hard to make. It's just getting organised with the right meat and the right fat content and getting the skins from the butcher, etc., and it's really quite fun to do. So I'll get some sausages and we'll eat all sorts of things, which is a leftover from the kids when they were young.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it was just too hard, and I will make carrot sticks, and I'll put a little pile of nuts. I've just got some notes down here. Veggie sticks, cherry tomatoes, olives, cheese cubes, nuts, and sausages. And I'll cut the sausages up.
Well, that's a great thing, because then everybody can pick what they want.
Yeah.
And,
all sorts of things. And the kids still love it now in their 20s.
All right, well, we're on platter dinners, so he has a bit of this, bit of that. One of the other things that I always have in the freezer, because my son loves them, is schnitzels. Yep. Whether I make them, and I don't always make them because I don't always have the time, but and they're great for the platters. And also sometimes I'll just cook up extra ones because it's great in a sandwich too, or for lunch for me with a salad. So
this is the leftover thing for lunch thing
for
as well,
dinner,
isn't it?
but then that's lunch for me for one day. So I'm always thinking, what is lunch as well? So whether, as I said, like the roast chicken, then you've got roast chicken sandwich.
I mean, we could sit here all night just talking about exactly,
fried rice for lunch.
But another simple one that I do as well is I just miss out the carbs, because you're missing out usually one more saucepan to wash up, and you're missing out, your pasta, your potatoes, rice, something like that. And I'll have a lot more vegetables. But there again, if you've got your roasted vegetables, you need to then put some nice fresh greens with it. It's learning what goes with what for a meal. I quite
like the roasted veggies with the lentils and the fresh spinach.
Beautiful.
And a bit of a dressing, sort of like sweet roast.
Lentils are brilliant.
And they take on the dressing, so you can do a vinaigrette.
Yep.
And with any sort of meat.
Yeah, and I think lentils is much underutilised. They're much underutilised. You
don't
need to soak them or anything.
You can do the French puy lentils or the black lentils.
20 minutes. Simmering away.
So in that time,
add your other bits and pieces.
If you've got pre-roasted veg.
And let's be realistic about it. Really, I cook every night. Probably takes me round about half an hour, unless I'm doing a super quick, simple something or other. But I would expect to be in the kitchen for about half an hour. Now, I think also throughout the whole day, to actually feed yourself your main meal and cook for less than half an hour is almost like, what are you going to be eating? Everything could be raw. That's a quick way of not cooking, isn't it? But I'm sort of like, I always think it's around half an hour. To try and do things in 15 minutes, I think you might be substituting.
And as we were saying, I think this pre-prep thing that people are doing, chopping everything up, I don't do it because I don't need to, because I can chop things quickly. And I think that's the problem, is that people are not as quick at preparing.
So an onion gets chopped in.
So chopping things up.
An onion gets chopped in 30 seconds or whatever. So if you're sort of listening to us going, oh my God, that's the bit that slows me up in the kitchen.
Yes.
Just saying, we've got a nice skills class
on
Saturday with a few spots left, and really I'd love everyone to come and do the nice skills class, because I think it sets you up for preparation, for speeding up things, learning how to use your knife properly, and how to chop things in an efficient way. It's really efficient, and the way that we teach
from what
things.
I've learned from doing, that it's coming up next year will be 5 years since I've started working here, that once I've started doing like all the different classes, you go, I've learned that from that class, I learned that from that class, and I could put that from that class with this from this class. So you're just starting to put together things where you understand what goes together. And of course learning how to season, and
which we've done before.
That's right. And we're talking, if you have like Asian sauces, you can throw pretty much any Asian dish together sort of thing, once you get a base knowledge of what goes together.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't have to have a recipe.
That's right.
You know, the more you do it, the better you get. The better you get, the more you want to do it.
That's right.
How it goes. So
point
it
was,
starts to get enjoyable.
The chopping and preparation gets easier and quicker the more you do things.
Absolutely. I was thinking of something really marvellous to say right then, and now it's gone straight out of my head. But I think...
Yeah, so have you got anyone out there got any more questions or suggestions? I do have something else that I like to freeze. I always talk about freezing stuff in classes, and they think, oh my God, if I got like an entire room of freezers, which I don't. I've got a drop freezer, but all the flowers are in there, keeps them fresh.
Okay.
As you said, nuts, seeds, that sort of thing all goes in freezers. But over not the time right now, but over winter, every Sunday I would make a soup.
Okay.
So then I can... freeze, and that's like quick lunches. Take a little container of soup. Oh, there is something else I freeze. White sauce. My son loves macaroni cheese.
Oh, but doesn't that make it so quick and simple?
Yeah.
If you want to make cauliflower cheese, then you've got a white sauce frozen.
Yeah, I'm making macaroni cheese. When Alison gave us that fresh milk,
yes,
it was like 3 litre. I made batch. It was Thermomix. White sauce. It lasted
that's a really handy thing
yeah,
to make.
so I had like all these containers of white sauce in the freezer, which just makes cooking mac and cheese, which I do once a fortnight, super quick and easy.
I freeze all little juices of things. Like the other day I took that turkey juice, didn't I?
Yeah.
Bryce said, do you want this? We
was
did
just
a
this tiny bit of
we did a
resting
corporate
juices.
and they had a Christmas themed meal, so we cooked this beautiful turkey and the resting juices were in the pan. I'm like, don't throw this away. I'm doing all the family wants turkey at Christmas time, so I just keep all those little juices, and that's what makes, like, people go, oh, you make them a best gravy. Well, yeah, because I keep all those little bits and
I always
just
keep the
mark
leftover roast chicken bones.
Yeah, I've got
or
turkey
turkey
juice.
Labelling what's in the freezer is a really good idea too, because sometimes I forget to do it. I think I'll know what that is, and then I'll go, what is this?
Another good thing that I saw a couple of years ago when we did a New Zealand food tour, I think we were in the lovely apiarists, the beekeepers' house, and they had this massive blackboard in the kitchen, and someone had written up each night of the week for what meals were coming up, because they had lots of adults in the house, and they said everyone knows whoever gets home first. So say if you were doing I don't know, something, and you needed to have, say if you're doing shepherd's pie, right, so you needed to peel potatoes, so they'd write Monday shepherd's pie, peel potatoes, chop onion, peel carrots, so that whoever gets home first starts a little bit of the prep before maybe the main cook gets back and puts it all together, because that sort of thing is so helpful to be done, and you can only really do that if you're organised. I really feel, because it's you can leave that on a whiteboard or a blackboard. We've got a blackboard in our behind our pantry door at home, and I'm always writing stuff up on there that I need for shopping and things like that. But it's a great place to write what you want to cook for the week, and I normally would do a list of what I want to cook for the week, and then I'll check in my fridge, in my freezer and pantry, and then I would go down to Gilbert's and buy everything fresh. Boycott the supermarket, because when you go into the supermarket there's so many naughty things that you end up perhaps putting in your trolley that you don't actually need, and that's where budgeting comes in as well, but that's another point altogether. The other thing I was going to say was that we will be doing a pantry management series, won't we?
Yes.
Sounds terribly formal, but I really like the idea of pantry management
Collective.
On the Cooks Collective. So that's coming up in over the next few months as well. We're going to be talking about a basic pantry and an Asian pantry, and all the things that we have.
Staples that we have in the pantry that we rely on to be able to, as you say, like, you haven't really got anything planned for dinner. What am I going to do? I've got pasta, I've got the tomato sauce, and there
Absolutely.
you go. Yeah.
So there'll be lots of hints and tips on that one as well.
Okay, so
did Deb say something? Was it Deb McCulloch?
Yes.
The
cameraman has actually just drawn out the cooks. The winner, because we're going to be wrapping up any moment now. And Deb McCulloch, you've won a subscription a year to the Cooks Collective, so you can join us next month.
Yeah,
as well.
and PM us with your email address, and we will get in touch with you and send you out.
That's right. So if you want to continue, everybody wants to continue on. We're doing this every month. Next month, it'll be December, which is quite scary.
So what do we have to talk about in December? What do you think?
Christmas.
Christmas.
So we're talking about, similar to tonight, like getting organised, but we're going to talk about getting organised for Christmas Day. Because you don't want to spend the entire day in the kitchen. What you can prepare in advance to have an enjoyable Christmas Day, and don't be the one standing in the kitchen.
I know, chill out on Christmas Day. I think don't make it stressful for yourself. So we are, we'll give you all those lovely hints and tips. It's not just get drunk and forget about everything in the oven.
Yeah. Also, next month we've got the Cook's Table. We've got Thursday night dinner and Friday lunch, where we're doing Chestnut Bray out here, and that will also be streamed live on the Friday lunch to. What's that? Oh, yeah,
beautiful milfo.
Will be streamed to the Cooks Collective, so they can actually watch that. Is that Friday night or Thursday night? Sorry, not Friday lunch. So
6th of December.
You're actually going to see the Thursday dinner. Getting my days confused. Streamed live if you're on the Cooks Collective. So if you can't make it to the kitchen, but it's the same thing. Thursday night, Friday lunch. Depends if you're working Friday. You can come Thursday night. Bring a date. Bring a bottle of wine.
Yeah, Bryonie and I'll
Don't bring a date. Come and join us. And
we'll be your date.
I'll be your date.
We'll cook dinner.
Possibly.
We'll cook dinner for you. That would be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and we just tested the millefeuille for that, which is absolutely beautiful. I think we're going to have that.
It's very
after
nice,
this.
isn't it? Yeah, we could have that after this, could we? Upside down dinner.
Great.
Haven't had dinner yet.
Anyway, with my wine.
Yeah. Cheers to everyone who's been watching tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you've got any ideas as well of what you'd like to see on Kitchen Conversations, please do let us know. And hopefully we look forward to seeing some of you on the Cooks Collective with us. We do have a closed Facebook group as well, with a great community of cooks on there as well, growing on a weekly and daily basis. So it'd be great to have you on board with the Cooks Collective. There's so much in there to explore and discover and learn.
That's right.
It's really great.
So so maybe we'll see you on Facebook, on our Matters of Taste Facebook page, on the Cooks Collective Facebook page, or come and join us in the kitchen or online
for a live class.
Thanks.